Hello dear students, welcome for the lecture of organic evolution. Today we are going to deal with chapter number 4, that is isolation, in which topic of discussion is isolating mechanism, pre-zygotic isolating mechanisms. I, Professor Amol Handore, welcome you for this lecture. So let us start. So before starting, let us take a brief recap of the previous lecture. So in the last lecture we have dealt with the mutation theory and the modern synthetic theory. The study objective for today's lecture is to understand isolating mechanism, types of reproductive isolating mechanism and pre-zygotic isolating mechanisms. So we'll understand the meaning of each. So before understanding isolating mechanism, we should know that what is this isolation. So this isolation is of different types, and due to isolation different species are formed. So isolation acts like a catalyst for the process of speciation. So we should first understand what is meant by a species. So according to the biological species concept, a species is a group of population whose members they have the potential to interbreed in between them and produce the fertile offsprings. Okay, so what is the meaning that these member from this group of population, they can freely breed among themselves and they produce the fertile offspring. If they cannot produce the fertile offspring, then they cannot be called as a biological species. Okay, so in nature there are different mechanisms which are present which prevent the interbreeding between different species. So what is meant by interbreeding? That is a breeding between two different species. Okay, so there are different mechanisms which are present that we will study today, and that helps to maintain or to prevent the interbreeding. Okay, so by preventing this interbreeding, what is it results into what is it prevents the gene flow between the different unrelated species. Okay, so let us understand what role does reproductive isolation plays in the process of evolution or the origin of different species. So by isolation we mean that two different populations, they are separated from each other, and that results or that prevents the interbreeding between these two different populations. So by achieving this, it results into accumulation of different variation in these two populations, and since new variations are there, the gene pool will increase. So what is this gene pool? Gene pool means number of genes present in particular population. So since these two populations are separated, there occurs new characters. These new characters are called as variations, and these variation will result into increasing the gene pool of that population. Now there are different types of reproductive isolating mechanism. So these are basically divided into two broad categories: extrinsic and intrinsic isolation mechanism. So what is meant by extrinsic mechanism? These are such a mechanism like geographical barriers like distance, mountains, rivers, presence of forest or deserts between two populations that prevents the interbreeding. So for example, suppose there is a population of deer is present here, there is a huge mountain here, and there is a same deer's population alongside that mountain. So due to presence of mountain, these two populations cannot breed among themselves. Okay, so that type of isolation is like a geographical isolation. So due to this geographical isolation, whatever type of a reproductive isolation is obtained is called as a extrinsic isolating mechanism. So what is the basic principle here, that in extrinsic isolating mechanism, it does not allow the member from two different population to come in contact and mating between them. Okay, so since these two populations, they are geographically separated, they cannot come in contact, so there is no chance of mating between, say, male of this population and a female of this population, or vice versa, and therefore this results into the isolation. Second type of isolating mechanism is called as intrinsic isolating mechanism. So intrinsic means inside. So these include all the internal feature of the organism. So these are present within the organism body that prevents interbreeding among members of the closely related populations or the closely related species. Okay, so the basic mechanism of isolation is to prevent the interbreeding between related species or populations. Okay, so now there are different types of reproductive isolating mechanisms. These can be geographical isolation, say presence of a geographical barrier, ecological isolation. There can be some differences in two species. There can be temporal isolation, that means one species breeds in one season and another species breeds in another season. There can be behavioral isolation, that means suppose these are two species, they have some different behavior that does not allow the mating between these. There could be mechanical isolation, or there could be gametic isolation. So we will understand each one of them one by one. So we can classify these as geographical isolation, isolation due to distance, ecological isolation also called as habitat isolation, temporal isolation, behavioral isolation, and mechanical isolation. Further, this may involve gametic isolation, zygote mortality, hybrid inviability, hybrid inferiority, and hybrid infertility. But from these, okay, now based on when does the isolation takes place, before mating or after the mating, we can classify them into two categories, that is pre-mating or pre-zygotic isolation mechanism. What is the name suggests? Pre-zygotic means before the zygote formation. Okay, we know that the union, once the mating takes place between male and female, there occurs the union of the gametes that results into formation of zygote. So in some organism there are certain mechanism that does not allow the zygote formation. Okay, and there are some organism which have the post mating or post zygotic isolating mechanism. In them there are some modifications that does not allow the zygote to survive. Means even if the zygote is formed, that zygote cannot survive further to give rise to the embryo. Okay, so let us understand these two type of mechanism one by one. So today we will only study the pre-mating or pre-zygotic isolating mechanisms. So these are basically present before the mating, that means mating between male and female. There are certain mechanisms which does not allow the mating to takes place between two different species. So by these pre-mating isolating mechanism, it reduces the likelihood or transfer of the gamete from one species to the another species. So this basically prevents the interbreeding between related species. So what are these different type of pre-mating mechanisms? The first one is geographical isolation. That means there occurs some geographical barrier that does not allow the mating to take place between two populations. There could be isolation due to distance. Maybe one species is present very far from the other species, so they cannot come in contact with each other. There could be ecological isolation. What is meant by ecological isolation? That means one species live in one habitat and second species live in another habitat. So since they live in different habitat, they cannot come in contact with each other, and there is no chance of mating to take place. There could be fourth, that is temporal isolation. That means the breeding seasons are different. That means species A has a breeding season in say summer, and species B has a breeding season in winter. So since their breeding season is different, the members of these two species cannot mate with each other. Next type is called as behavioral isolation or ethological isolation. Ethology is basically the behavioral science. So there are differences in the behavior of two species. We will understand what are these behavioral isolation later on. So let us start with the first type, that is geographical isolation. So geographical isolation means two population of the species, suppose same species, are separated by some geographical or physical barrier. So this physical barrier can be of different type. It can be mountain, it can be presence of desert, forest, land bridges or water bodies. So by formation or presence of these barrier, and the population is divided into two. Suppose the same species is there, and that species is divided due to the mountain range. Then due to this barrier, the member of these two population cannot come in contact with each other. So since they cannot come in contact with each other, there is no chance that the members can mate with each other and they can interbreed or breeding can take place. So that reduces the exchange of gene between two different population. That means the gene pool of the two population is separated. We have understood what is meant by gene pool, that is the total genes of a population. Okay, and now these two gene pools are separated because there is a mountain in between. So these two population cannot come near each other or they cannot mate with each other. So due to the separation of gene pool, now there may be the chances that environmental conditions are different. So there may be appearance of new mutations, genetic drift or action. Natural selection action can take place independently, and that may result into the evolution of two populations separately according to the local conditions, and this results into the genetic divergence. What is meant by genetic divergence? Now these two populations may have new characters develop. Okay, so due to these new characters are developed, and these characters are gradually accumulated. That means over the thousands of generation, new characters may be accumulated, and later on these members of the same species may look entirely different, and we say that speciation has happened. That means two different species are formed. Let us take example of geographical isolation. So there are, if you see the distribution of a snail species on the Hawaiian island, it gives the example of the geographical isolation. So in these islands you will find lot of mountains and valleys, and on when this snail population of these area was studied, they found that there are species of snails which obtain, they show different characters. Okay, so due to the geographical isolation that has resulted into the or this geographical isolation has resulted into the speciation. Similarly, if we take the second example of Indian giant squirrel, even in Maharashtra we have one species of the Indian giant squirrel. In Marathi we call it as shekru. So this the scientific name of this squirrel is Rathufa indica, which lives in our Indian forest. In Gujarat you have the yellowish species of this. In the Maharashtra you have the brown color species, and in the Mysore you have the dark brown color species of this Rathufa indica, and this variation is due to the different geographical condition. This is a third example of geographical isolation due to the presence of these mountain ranges. This is a species of a squirrel. So you can see that due to the different environmental condition, two species of these giant of the squirrel, they have the characters which are different among themselves. Now we come to the second type, that is isolation due to the distance. The name itself suggests that when two populations are separated by long distance, now there is no geographical barrier like mountain, river or any other barrier is not present, just there is a physical distance between two populations. So when such two populations, they are separated not by any barrier but just by a long distance, that can also result results into the speciation or formation of new characters. Because since the two population of same species, they are separated by thousands of kilometers, then there is no chance that these two populations will come near each other or they can mate and produce the next or offspring. So due to physical distance, since they are separated, it can result into formation of different species. Let us take example of isolation due to distance. Mammals found in the Holarctic area of North America, they cannot interbreed because they are separated by long distances. We take another simple example. If we take the example of this oak tree, there are two species of this oak tree. One species is present in the Europe and another species is present in California, USA. Now these two species can interbreed, that means they can breed among themselves. However, and that can result into fertile hybrids also. But since one species is present in Europe, another species is present in USA, can there be any chance of cross fertilization? No. That's why only due to the distance these two species cannot come contact with each other and they cannot form the fertile offspring. However, when these are if hybrids are put from these two different species can be produced in a controlled conditions or in a captivity. So just by the distance there can occur the isolation. Third type of the isolation is called as a ecological isolation or habitat isolation. So this ecological isolation is seen in those population or of closely related species that occupy different habitat in same geographical area. That means in the same geographical area there could be different habitats, and these members or these two populations can live in the different habitats. So since they are present in different habitats, they hardly get a chance to breed or interbreed among themselves. This ecological isolation can also called as habitat isolation or environmental isolation. So let us take an example to understand ecological isolation. Now if we take a species of example of this species of garter snake, in this there is one species which occurs or which lives on the land, and there is another species which lives in water. Okay, since they live in the different habitats, they cannot interbreed with each other because their habitats are different. Though they live in the same geographical area, but their habitats are different, and that results into the ecological isolation. Similarly, we know that if we take another example, that of lions and tigers. So in India we have lions as well as tigers, and they are living in India from more than 150 years ago. We can see them, that their territories are being overlapped from many years. But do we get a hybrid of lion and tiger in nature? No. Why? Because they have the different ecological isolation. We know that lions always prefer to live in the grassland where grasses are more, whereas the tigers prefer to live in the forest. So as well as the lions, they live in the group, tiger lives always solitary life, that means it lives alone. So there is different in their ecological or behavioral differences are there. That's why they rarely come in the direct contact. Even if they come in direct contact, due to their aggressive behavior, they cannot mate with each other. So say for example, a lion female cannot mate with the male tiger. However, is it so that tiger cannot mate with the lion? No, because in laboratory we have produced the hybrids between lion and tiger. So the hybrids which is produced from male tiger and female lion is called as tigon, and the hybrid between male lion and female tiger is called as a liger. Though it is by mistaken it is tigers, but it is called as a liger. So this indicates that though tiger and lion can mate with each other, but due to the ecological or habitat isolation, they don't mate in the nature. Another example can be given, that of the frog species. So if you see the two species of the frog, that is Rana gryleo and another frog, that is Rana areolata. In these two species, the first species, that is Rana gryleo, is aquatic and occurs in the deep pond, lake and the marshy areas, and it also breeds in the very deep water. Whereas the second species of the frog, that is Rana areolata, it prefers the margins of the swamp areas and it breeds in the shallow water. So you can see the difference, that one species prefers to live in the deep water, and second species its habitat is also different, and it also breeds in the different area, that is shallow water. So since there is a difference in the ecological preferences, this eliminates the possibility of mating between these two species of the frog. Now we come to the next type of isolation, that is temporal, or temporal means time related isolation. So there are some species which have different breeding or mating seasons. Okay, so due to the different breeding or mating season that prevent the chances of interbreeding. This type of isolation is called as temporal, time related or seasonal isolation. So seasonal isolation is commonly plays a very important role in case of plants, in insect and certain invertebrates. So let us understand this with some examples. So temporal isolation can be seen in the species of these skunk. So there are two species of the skunk, that is eastern spotted skunk, which is this one, and the western spotted skunk, which is on the right side. Now if we see, the mating season of this eastern skunk is in the late winter, whereas that of the western skunk is in the late summer. So since their mating seasons are different, one has mating season in summer and the second species has a mating season in summer, so they cannot mate with each other due to the different mating season. So due to the different time of their mating, they avoid the interbreeding, that is called as temporal isolation. Another example, if we take American toad Bufo americanus and Fowler's toad Bufo fowleri. Now if we see these two species and if you breed them in the laboratory condition, they can produce the hybrids. However, in nature the interbreeding is prevented because they have the different breeding seasons. Bufo americanus breeds early in the rainy season, whereas Bufo fowleri breeds in the late rainy season. So since they have the different breeding season, they cannot produce, or the interbreeding between them is prevented. However, sometime during the overlapping period of breeding, few hybrids can be produced between these two, and they have the characters resembling to the another species of toad, that is Bufo woodhousei. Okay, so just by the difference in the breeding season, the interbreeding can be prevented. We come to the next type, that is ethological or behavioral isolation. So ethology means behavioral ecology. So there are some behaviors present in the different species which does not allow breeding between these two different species or population. So in this ethological or behavioral isolation, individuals of one species reject or they do not recognize individual of other species as mating partner. That means suppose there are two species, that is species A and B, then even if they come in contact with each other, they do not mate with each other because they have some different behaviors. So what are these different behaviors? We will understand. So they may have different behaviors, that results into sexual isolation. So let us take the example of these bird species. In birds, they have the courtship behavior or they have the mating calls. So in this particular bird, they have the blue foots. So with these blue colored foots, they do the different type of dance, and by doing that the female will be attracted towards the male. If in some other birds, the male bird makes the different sounds, or it is called as a song. So the male sings for a female and the female will be attracted towards the that particular song. So every species of a bird have a unique song. So that results into the behavioral isolation. Even there are different types of the ethological or behavioral isolation. And these different behavior are like passwords by which male and female of the same species, they will recognize each other. That will prevent the breeding or mating between the unrelated species. Okay, so for example, a crow do not mate with the sparrow. Why? Because the crow has a different song by which the male will attract the female, whereas in sparrow, male has a different song by which it will attract the sparrow female. So every species has a specific courtship display or behavior by which by using that the female of the same species or the male can attract the female of the same species. Now there are three types of stimulus which are present in this ecological or behavioral isolation. The first one is called as a visual stimuli. That means the organisms will have the different body color, different body form, body size, or different body movements. By using these, the male will attract the female, and the female will be only attracted by looking at these characters. So suppose why does the female of a sparrow will recognize the male sparrow? Because the male sparrow has a typical color, it has a typical size, and it does specific movements, right? Due to which the female sparrow will recognize the male sparrow and it will be attracted towards the male sparrow, but it will not be attracted towards the male crow because it has different color, it has different body shape, different body size, and different movements. Okay. So even another examples are mentioned here. So difference in size can prevent hybridization between two frog species or the toad species, that is oak toad and Gulf host toad. Now since during the mating the female should have a particular size, only then male can mate with her, but in these two species the female size is different. That's why the male cannot mate with the female of other species. That means the male of the oak toad species cannot mate with the female of the Gulf toad species. Okay, due to this difference in the size of female, the mating cannot takes place. Another example, male hummingbirds, they show variation in the body color patterns. They have elaborate crest on the head as well as the tail feathers, as well as there is difference in the size and color. Okay, so the female hummingbird will recognize the male with the color, body shape, presence of these feathers onto the head and tail, and then only she will mate with that particular male of the same species. Similarly, birds have the courtship display. I have already told you that birds, that is male bird, they dance or they make a sound which is recognized by the female, and then only the mating will takes place. Okay, so the second type is called as auditory. What is meant by auditory? Which can be heard. So auditory stimuli is in the form of song calls, and these song is species specific. So species specific sounds are played, and that can have a role in the courtship displays of frogs, toads, and even in the birds. If we take an example, in cricket insect, that is Gryllus campestris, females are attracted by the call of the same species male, because every species of the cricket has different sound. Okay, so the female of these species will be attracted only to the male of the same species, but not with the male of another species. Now if we see the frogs from the genus Rana, there are 4 species which are quite similar in appearance. That means they look very similar, all these 4 species, but their mating call is different. Okay, so since they are similar but the mating call is different, the female can recognize the male and the mating will take place only in the same species. Similarly, the female bird will always recognize the call made by the male of the same species. That is done during the courtship display. So that behavior of singing a song or showing the feathers, colorful feathers, is a type of a phenomena called as a courtship display. Third type of the ecological isolation is called as chemical stimuli. So these chemical stimuli can be detected by the olfactory organs, and these are basically in the form of specific odors which are called as pheromones. So mammals, they can be specifically mentioned in this category because there are different types of pheromone can be produced. So for example, in polychaetes species, the mature female releases egg in water which induces the sperm ejection by the males. So a kind of a pheromone. So this semen contains a fluid that induces the female to spawn, that means to release the egg. So once the eggs are released, the sperms are ejaculated by the male. So by this simultaneous release of the egg and the sperm, the fertilization can take place between the related species. So due to this mechanism, it prevents the fertilization between the unrelated species. Okay, so with this we conclude today's lecture. We will quickly summarize what we have studied today. So we have discussed isolating mechanism, what are the different types of isolating mechanism. In that we have studied what is, first we have understood the biological species concept. Then the reproductive isolation can be divided into 2 categories. Extrinsic means outside factors, and that could be in the form of geographical barriers, distance, which can cause the isolation. Then the second type is intrinsic mechanism, that means some mechanism which are present in the body of an organism that prevents the interbreeding between the different population. Then we have understood the basic types of the isolating mechanisms, and in that we can classify them based on before mating or after the mating isolating mechanism. The first category we have discussed today, that is pre-mating or pre-zygotic mechanism. That means whatever mechanisms which do not allow the or which cause the isolation before the zygote formation, and those mechanisms which cause the isolation even after the zygote formation are called as post-zygotic. So this we will study in the next lecture. So in pre-zygotic we have understood the first type, that is isolation due to the geographical barriers, called as geographical isolation. So this can take place due to the presence of desert, forest, mountain ranges, water bodies and all, etc. So geographical isolation results into the splitting of the gene pool, and it results into formation of new mutation, and it can result into the genetic divergence. We have taken some example of geographical isolation. Then isolation by distance, even though geographical barrier is not present, but just a distance can also play the role of isolation. Then ecological isolation or habitat isolation, that means within the same geographical area, if two species are present but one species has a different habitat than the other, say one example, one species lives on a ground, that is terrestrial, and one species is aquatic, then they cannot come in contact with each other, or they cannot mate with each other. That results into the ecological or habitat isolation. We have seen some examples of ecological isolation. Then temporal isolation means breeding times are different or breeding seasons are different. So since breeding season are different, the mating between two different species cannot take place. Then ethological or behavioral isolation, that means the behavior is different. We have understood the different types of behavior, like the first type we have seen visual stimuli. So the visual stimuli like color, body shape, body size, movements, that will attract the female of the same species with the male of that same species. But since the other species male will have different characters, so the female will not be attracted. Similarly, another is auditory stimuli, that means the different type of song calls or the signals, like for example in crickets, the female of the one species like Gryllus campestris will be always attracted to the male of the same species, because she will recognize the call which is made by the same species, but cannot recognize the call which is made by male of the another species of cricket. Same example can be that given of the frog that we have discussed. And last one is chemical stimuli in the form of pheromones, that can play a role in the ethological or behavioral isolation. So with this we conclude today's lecture. Thank you.